मतलब like anybody can go from the perspective of any type of and he has some manual solution for that. मतलब ये नहीं है कि particular like
We just safeguarded himself from ours outside the yeah. And it will just have 2 ways.
few ways, yes.
than 2 minutes.
Okay.
ठीक है थोड़ा सा. Then I have these 8 questions.
Okay.
I will be asking these 8 questions to the
Okay.
panelists first,
Okay.
then to the audience. ठीक है.
Okay.
And let the audience say whatever they like.
Okay.
Okay. And after that you have to say something about research and projects. So I'll try to wind up early.
Okay.
And after that you have 5-10 minutes.
So can you share this with me?
So that is it.
Oh, okay, okay.
अभी नहीं दिखाऊंगा. Suspense खत्म हो जाएगा.
हाँ हाँ नहीं वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं
ठीक है.
ऐसा इतना कोई परेशानी वाली बात नहीं है
नहीं तुम
नहीं नहीं आई वाज सेइंग कि आफ्टर द सेशन कैन यू शेयर द पीपीटीएक्स विद मी
Oh yeah, of course.
Email.
मैं हाँ वो मैं अभी कर दूँगी. ठीक है. ठीक है बस
ठीक है,
थोड़ा सा भीड़ आ जाए हम लोगों का.
या
फिर हम स्टार्ट कर देंगे.
सॉरी या
So we are going to start the faculty alumni panel discussion of this year. I am Dr. Pinaki Chakravarti, an assistant professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering here in NSUT. Since Professor Ritu Sibal Madam started organizing this alumni meet, she had been including this faculty alumni panel discussion every year. I had the opportunity to be a panelist in the last two editions, and this time, Madam has requested me, or rather asked me to anchor the session. So I am obliged to Madam for this. So today we are going to discuss on this topic, that is impact of artificial intelligence on society, challenges and strategies. Shortly from now, I'll be introducing you to my panelists, but before that, I'll go through one or two more slides. This is Professor John McCarthy. Dr. McCarthy coined this term artificial intelligence way back in 1955 when he was an assistant professor, young assistant professor at Dartmouth College. So artificial intelligence is not a very new thing. It is a classical thing in computer science and engineering, to be more general. Now, different people defines artificial intelligence in their own ways. I also have my own way of defining artificial intelligence. I define artificial intelligence, or AI, as the ability of computer programs to perform computations that have not been explicitly specified in them. So if we discuss about the technological perspective of AI, then we can spend our whole life doing that. We can study AI for our whole life. But today we'll focus on the social aspects of AI. So let us see the opinion of some world leaders on the social aspects of AI. In the recently held G20 summit in New Delhi, the world leaders stressed upon AI being responsible, inclusive, and human-centric. Our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, he also wants AI to have some space for emotion and ethics. His Holiness Pope Francis also wants AI and similar technologies to have a moral and ethical angle. So this makes today's topic pretty much relevant. So today I have these questions. I have written down these questions. So I'll ask these questions to my panelists first, and after that I'll be passing on the questions one by one to the audience. Now let me introduce my panelists to you. On my right, we have Mr. Manushil Gupta. He is an alumnus of our university. He got his degree in information technology in 2008. Now, I know Mr. Gupta for quite a few years. We have co-authored, something like that. And since 2017. And we have also co-authored papers together. He has been always actively involved with his alma mater, that is our university. Welcome to you on the stage, sir. We also have one very young alumnus with us, Mr. Satish Chandra Tiwari. Mr. Satish Chandra Tiwari, he is again an alumnus of our university. He got his degree in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2014. Welcome you, Mr. Tiwari. On my left, we have Dr. Yatendra Kumar. He is an assistant professor in our Biological Sciences and Engineering department. Dr. Yatendra Kumar received his PhD from CCMB Hyderabad, which is a very prestigious institute, and he works on molecular and cellular biology. He did his postdoc from Germany, and I know him for last 9 years. I can say that he is equally good in teaching, research, and administration, which is a very rare combination. On my far left, we have one of the youngest faculty members of our university with a large fan following. He is Dr. Dushyant Kumar, an assistant professor in our Department of Physics. He works on topological modeling and spintronics, which I believe is a type, which is related to quantum mechanics, quantum physics, according to my understanding. Now, Dr. Dushyant Kumar is known for his publications in high-impact journals, and he's an active researcher. He did his he first studied in BHU, then did his PhD from IIT Kanpur, and then he did his postdoc from National University of Singapore, all of which are, very, prestigious universities. So that is my brief introduction about these four nice gentlemen. I would have liked to include a lady in our panel, but I hope most of my target audience is still enjoying the beautiful lunch. So, okay, so I have these 8 questions. On the board, I have a printout also. So I'll be asking you, I'll be asking the panelists these questions. Okay, so they have to give their opinion. And after that, I'll be asking the audience, including our students, alumni, they have to answer. Now, these are open-ended questions. There is nothing, there is not a correct answer. There is no wrong answer. So you have to tell your answer. And I am a very democratic person. You can say literally everything, preferably related to artificial intelligence. Okay, so inventions like electricity, computers, the World Wide Web. Okay, so these things have changed human lives in the last 200 years. Okay, so they have made huge impact on human lives. The way we live, the way we teach, the way we study, all these things are influenced by these great innovations. Now, today we are going to talk about artificial intelligence. So this brings me to the first question of this session. Can AI improve the quality of human life? Can AI make some change in the real world? So I'll first ask this question to Mr. Manushil Gupta. Sir, you have a mic there.
It's a very interesting question because when I look at AI, I look at it as a knife. Now, knife can be used to cut fruits or it can be used to hurt somebody. And I think AI is heading in that direction where it has both the aspects. Now, in reference to improving the quality of life, I do feel that it has specific considerations in healthcare, in mobility, as well as in logistics. So in these areas, I have seen that there is a clear convenience as well as an improvement that it is bringing up. However, I would say there's a piece of caution over here. Sometimes when you have to kill a mosquito, you don't need an AK-47 gun. You can basically kill a mosquito with the mosquito mat. And this is exactly my word of caution for AI, that it should be used where it needs to be used and not where it is a want, basically. So that need and want is a very clear understanding we need to have when it comes to convenience and in terms of life improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will now ask this same question to Mr. Tiwari. Mr. Satish Tiwari, please tell how we can use AI to improve human life.
Yeah. AI is already improving human life, and somewhere, as it is a double-edged sword, you don't know whether it is really improving or, for example, you go and book a ticket where a system is sitting in the background, assessing so many people booking tickets at the same time and inflating the price. At the same time, you did your research, you have all the data, you are good at your research and you don't want to write a fancy English and ChatGPT is there, you feed the data, you got a research paper, right? And you always argue, I was doing PhD and I had an argument that I'm not good at English. So why should I bother about? I have data, I want to publish something. So it's a double-edged sword. It is already helping and improving life when we speak, whether it is weather prediction, whether it is, you touch any field, you may think AI is not there, but AI is there. And in the other competitive aspect of it, it is still there and it might be taking something out of your pocket. Yeah. So industry is already using it. We are discussing it today, but from last 10 years, industry has been using it and we are part of it. Yeah.
So I'll ask the same question to now.
So first of all, I would like to thank the Professor Ritu Sibal ma'am for giving me this opportunity. and Dr. Pinaki Chakravarti for a kind introduction. Since I am from biological sciences, so with respect to biological sciences, what we have seen over these like last 10 years, yes, AI has indeed helped in improving the healthcare. And even the projects which we are doing with BTech students, we are generating, you can say, algorithms or programs where early detection of the disease can be done so that you can reduce the burden, healthcare burden, which we faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. So with that perspective, I completely agree. Yes, there has been improvement. But again, as our alumni has said, it is a double-edged sword. So what is happening, that chat GPT, so it has somewhere removed or like reduced the originality and creativity when it comes to even like scientific writing. So this is what I am seeing. I have been faculty here for like last 9 years. So the kind of students which we had or like the kind of creativity they had, say like 5 years back, we see that is missing in today's time. So they look for like easy things which AI helps to do them. So somewhere that originality and creativity is getting reduced.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much, Pinaki sir and madam, for giving me this opportunity. I'm the youngest, as sir told. So, so I would like to give my view on this. So like sir said, and others also have, that it has something to do that we are not becoming more creative because of the easy access of so many things. But I would say like initially, like 40, 50 years, or even just 30 years, we used to learn tables. In Hindi or English, whatever, we used to learn tables. And our parents used to say that this is backbone. I mean, you should learn it. And at that time, people having calculators, and people will say that you won't find calculator everywhere. But in today's time, every hand has a calculator. So I won't say that table is not good to remember, but I would say that technology has made it very easy to do all the calculations, all the subtraction, addition. This is very elementary calculations, but it has made it very easy and in the pockets of every person, even in the pockets of a child. So that is the benefit of technology, and you accept it or not, it is there, and it is going to be there. The AI, you have to, live with this. You have to basically, I would say, you have to learn how to live with this. Of course, you need to keep thinking how you can improve your creativity, not just being dependent on the AI. And I will just give some examples where the AI, I personally felt, will be very useful. Like just 5 years back, when I was doing the literature review for any research problems, or when you start your research, first you do the literature review, what are being done and what are the research gap, what are the future scope, what I can do, all those things. It takes huge time. At least if you are doing a very rigorous review, then it will take at least 2-3 months. But today's time, in fact, I did myself. You just define, you need to learn how to prompt, how to give the prompts to AI. You need to learn that, of course. But in today's time, you can do that same literature review in 2-3 days. It will give you the summary of what are the things being done already, what are the research gaps, and what you can do. Of course, that is your brain. You need to think that what you can do, that machine will not tell you. Maybe in future it can help you even in that, but right now it is limited. So literature review is one thing which I find it is very useful. In future, I see very, sorry if I'm taking longer time. So in future, I see a very good use of it. Like during this recruitment process, I saw. Can I speak like that? Yeah. So during recruitment process, when I'm going through, I saw, it's a sad reality of India that there's lots of corruption. I will say very frankly, lots of corruption. So if we can use the AI, because it can be unbiased, of course you can program it biasly, that's possible, but you can check it, whether it is biased or unbiased. You can use those AIs, maybe in future, maybe it will take 10 years to reach that point, but definitely you can use those AIs to put it in the recruitment committee, at least one AI, to check whether the interview process is biased or unbiased. And that way, you can come up with a well-deserved candidate to be selected, not just by bhai bhatijawad jo hamare yahan chalta hai. That is, I mean, if you ask any youth, I will say that all the youth, if sitting here, he will be agree with me. That's the problem of every youth they are facing in today's time, recruitment. And it will make the future of India. If your recruitment is wrong, if your recruitment is not very good, it is completely biased, you cannot do anything in future. You will be limited. So you have to recruit best minds to get, like our Prime Minister say that we want to become superpower. Without best minds, not possible. So first, you need to recruit best minds. Okay, there are a few other points because I knew that we will be discussing AI. So I just thought of what are the few points which we can discuss. In terms of academia, because we are from the academia background.
Okay. That is my next question. That is my next question. Okay, but Dr. Dushyant, your idea of using AI in the recruitment process, Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that is an original idea, and I have not heard this thing.
I have heard.
You have.
I can share that. Sure. Yes, ma'am. I can share the...
Mic, you have mic.
So, ma'am, in recruitment, first of all, I wish to share the first thing that we are doing is a liveliness check of a person. We are not looking at a deepfake giving an interview for recruitment. I mean, that's the first thing I would recommend. The second step would be essentially looking at certain parameters, or what I would say certain feature selection aspects, which are very critical to a university. So instead of having one-shoe-fit-all size kind of a structure, we could have a more personalized way of recruitment, which means if it is someone is applying for computer engineering and they're really expert in, say, an area like software engineering, so we are looking specifically for the aspects which are recent, which are required in the industry like agile software engineering, and which would be helpful to the community. So we could look at those specific set of features, we could train the model in that manner, and give a personalized scoring, a rank-based scoring. There's a very interesting algorithm which is the foundation of Google search. It's called as PageRank algorithm, and now there are certain improvements in that as well. So we could do that particular aspect for ranking of candidates on the basis of it. The third, which I wish to share, is that the deepfake technology that is happening very frequently is also there in recruitment. So the way to handle that is not just the liveliness check, but a couple of other authentication and authorization methods to prevent certain things from happening, basically. So we even have Narayan Murthy having a deepfake of him, basically, right now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Manushil sir. Now, I must move on to the second question. I know that my questions are very interesting and all of you would like to say a lot of things. Well, I have more questions. I have 8 questions. I have 7 more questions. So you can say about them also. Okay, so my second question is, in the last 7 or 8 years, I and all of you have seen that many universities, including NSUT, are repackaging our traditional CS computer science programs into AI programs. Okay. Now, students are very much keen in taking admission in AI programs rather than traditional CS programs. Parents are interested in sending their kids to study AI programs rather than CS programs. So, sir, is this a mob mentality? Is this a mob mentality, and can there be an AI program even at the undergraduate level, or should we keep AI as a specialization for the masters? So this brings us to my second question of the session. Do students take admission in AI programs just because they fancy the term AI? Now, to answer this question, I'd first request Dr. Yatindra Kumar. Why? Because he is the deputy chairperson of BTech admissions in our university. And after that, I'll ask the other panelists. Then I would, for this question, I take the answers from some young students. Okay, so why they want to study AI? So first, Yatindra, sir.
Yeah, so since like Dr. Pinaki said, like I was also coming from that point that since I am also happens to be deputy coordinator of the admissions, so what we are seeing over the past 4 years, what is trending, it sells actually. So AI is something which is in trend, and that is what made us also, like I think the higher committees, they decided that this is something need of the hour also. So they came up with this CSAI program. Though I will not go into the detail, but what as per my knowledge, in CS and CSI, it is the difference only in the last semester. Rest of the courses are totally similar. It's just certain, you can say subtle variations or subtle specializations. That is what matters there. So there is a trend. CSI is the first branch which fills during the admission. So this is something which everybody is looking like. Everybody wants to have CSI. If they don't get, they only then look for CSE as a core branch. Yeah.
Sir,
Sure.
why students are interested in studying AI only?
Absolutely. So there are three formidable reasons, I would say. One definitely is that there are opportunities in this area. There's something called as riding on the wave. So there is currently an AI wave right now. The second aspect basically is surely the herd mentality. I mean, they're not all the problems in this world can be solved with AI. I mean, that's a very clear goal, and that's a very clear answer to a lot of problems also. A lot of problems, AI can be beneficial at certain aspects. Like if you look at a CI/CD pipeline in DevOps, so it can be useful in certain areas for basically doing fault tolerance or for reducing costs in a certain manner, but it's not like the entire pipeline is AI. So what I must share is that I'm also involved in the board of studies for certain departments at NSUT. And in curriculum design, what we do is, we say that, okay, focus on foundation first, because without foundation, like for example, software engineering, if I must say, without learning software engineering, if you say, let's discuss AI in software engineering, it's meaningless. Without understanding what software models are, if you start talking about AI in agile engineering, it would not have any outcome. So the way we look at it is that, okay, you first have a curriculum which is foundationally focused, keeps the student really engrossed, and I would say entertained in the core components and concepts of learning, and then move on to introducing AI in that. Or you can do it in a more flipped manner, in a flipped classroom manner, where you could have a more project-based learning for the same topic. The third thing I must share is that AI sometimes, it also leads to reduced thinking. And I must say that we have arrived from Stone Age till this age because we have been always thinking. I think the only difference between mankind, or I would say human species or Homo sapiens and other animals, is that we think. And because of our thinking capacity, we have been able to reach this stage. I must share that the way we are moving forward, we are reducing our thinking levels and capacity and originality. And that is the core basis for innovation. So if innovation stops, then even it will be like a chicken and egg problem where AI will not be solving any innovative aspects and it will not be benefiting anyone. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sadish, sir, your take.
Yeah, so I would say out of sight, out of mind. So basically, AI is in sight, it is everywhere. Why you expect a young person or a family who is not technical and wanting his kid to be going in a technical field to deep dive into something called molecular or something called, say, quantum level, where even if he does good, there is no job, right? So one part is, it is in sight, AI is everywhere, and even the startups and other things, they are ready to hire as well. I mean, the benchmarking is also lower when the current situation is going in AI. So you never find a champion in AI. Everybody, for example, you go to the dot-com boom age, 90s, students from mechanical, students from civil, everybody is going into IT and they did good. So it's about only 4 years you study something, right? It should not define your entire career. So it is in sight, it is in mind, it is good, right? It's about job.
Nice way to put the things. Sir, thank you. So now I am opening up this question to the audience. Only this question, that is question number 2. So we have some young students. I think they are from MSc Physics. Okay. So kids, tell me why, students of your age, we are old people now, so why students of your age are interested in studying AI only? Sir, ये आपका बड़प्पन है।
When you say we, Dushyant is also there.
Sir, we are okay. Students, please say that, why everybody is interested in studying only AI related courses. Please. We have a microphone here. Pargin sir, please. There is a microphone here. Yeah, some student please answer this question. Why everybody wants to study AI? कोई तो बोलिए आप, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, it's okay.
Good morning, all. Actually, we need AI. It's not like we want AI just because of the fancy term. It's artificial intelligence, and we want to go into that. Actually, as per my view, beside my study of physics, I used to learn AI with some courses available on YouTube and other platforms. Actually, I want to basically, in my point of view, I want to learn AI just because it makes the things easy. Just like Dushyant sir said, that we know how to write to AI so that we can get the valuable information. Because if we don't know the things, okay, what we are giving, what we are input, what's our input, then output doesn't will not be helpful for us. So I think AI is we want to learn AI just because it's first of all it's in the site, and the second thing is that it makes the things easy. We can of course do some codings and we can make some programs regarding that which must be useful for others. So this is my aspect.
Okay, very good answer from a young layman. Yes, any other answer, please?
Good afternoon, sirs. I'm an MSc first year student. My name is Shadul Khanduri. And as per my experience from AIs, I have also worked in within Python language about AI, and I have done the basics there. Also, I have done prompt engineering from an online course from UDMI. And I've been using the chatbots from the almost 4 or 5 months continuously for my day-to-day work. And as per my experience, I can say that AI right now is not intelligent. It's just like a, how do I say, an intelligent dog whom you can train to get there and just fetch up something for you. And that's why the most problematic thing which is being right now in field of AI is that children are getting access to it. Because children, you need to learn something properly before doing that. As for example, I can say that, for example, like the most famous one is ChatGPT. If you want to generate some content of English from it, and you give it a prompt and something like that without much knowledge of how to get the information out of it, and it gets you data, but you won't be able to check it, if it's right or wrong. And while doing my exam preparation, I can say that when I tried to get a derivation out of it, even if I said it to there's an example prompt there that I want you to pretend like a university professor and derive this thing from me. And I gave him the question and he gave the derivation wrong. And if you weren't, the point here is that if you were not aware of that this is wrong, you can get a lot of incorrect information. So it's very essential till at least till your graduation, you learn all the concept without this thing. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for your sharing your experience, and I'm really glad that nowadays our physics students are also using AI. So I would move on quickly to my third question. Now this is related to industry, so I will not bother my academia friends. I'll ask these questions to alumni on the stage. Then I ask this question to Dr. Vandana Bhatia because she's an assistant professor in the CS department. She has, before joining NSUT, she has worked in the industry for a short period. And then I open up this question to the alumni. So this is the third question. How AI is being used in the industry? Please tell us.
Sure. So, first of all, AI is used in the industry in almost every aspect. I mean, it's been across the board. But let me give some examples of case studies that might be interesting to a lot of people. In mobility space, it is really being utilized specific to India demographic. You know that there are a lot of road accidents and road incidents that are happening. So an early stage detection, prevention of incidents, that is one very clear example where AI is being utilized, and also connected vehicles for efficiency and sustainability. So that's one example specific to mobility. Now let me move on to the healthcare area. In healthcare area, personalized medicine is one specific example where we can really utilize AI in a big manner. I have personally used it in early stage detection and prevention of lung-based diseases like pneumonia and tuberculosis with chest X-ray data set. So this I had done in collaboration with Fortis Hospital in a couple of years back. And we got all the data set and we did initial set of training, and using the key methods of noise removal, classification clustering, followed by an early stage prevention, we could do that kind of an analysis. The third I must share is the enterprise area. So in enterprise area, whether it is enterprise finance, enterprise billing, or all the functions, AI is basically utilizing the ways through which we can reduce costs, that is operational costs, have an understanding of how we can do a work in a sustainable manner, which means in an environment-friendly manner, and also enable reusability, repurposability, and also recyclability of something we have developed. It could be a software code, it could be hardware.
Okay, thank you, sir. Satish, sir, your turn.
Yeah, so these were more towards research and fancy stuff. So in your day-to-day as well, AI plays a very big role. And in terms of recruitment, I'll start from there. There it is not helping you. The odd jobs for which recruiters used to recruit in large numbers, they are gone now thanks to AI. But even thanks to you, that you need not to do odd jobs now. You better do what humans should do. Other than that, you go anywhere, your daily lives, be it, say, you browse anything and you are getting prompt of what you searched, what you want to buy, it is AI. So you are impacted very heavily with the AI, and even if you think that there is a need of something which you are buying, the need is also created by AI. So, and you might see that people around you whom you saw and that need arose, that need also, I mean, it's AI which is doing that stuff. And one example, one university professor did is, I was coming from Greater Noida to NSUT and it was taking me 2 hours. And then I remembered one experiment. One professor, he took 100 mobiles and he crossed that bridge switching on that mobile, and from the Germany, right? So the thing is, whether AI is redirecting everybody through a single route where some eatery joint is there who has paid heavily, you are stuck, you are eating something there, you never know. So you are heavily impacted by AI, and what that algorithm is actually seeking, it is, of course, it is biased. I'm not saying unbiased. It is heavily biased, and it is powerful. So even if you are thinking that it is giving you some freedom, it is on the hands of that coder who has coded it, right? So yeah. So industry is using it, and you are party to it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I would like now to take the view of Dr. Vandana Madam. Question number 3.
So AI is being used by industry enormously, and we are being the user, we are being the clients of them, are using it on day-to-day basis. Just if I will take example of Google Maps, so that is a good example. Even we came here today, we reached in the university by using that. Moreover, in our day-to-day life, like I will take an example of natural language processing. So many of our things, whatever text we are writing, so that is being analyzed by the industry people. So right, if we are looking for some house, so then all our social media like accounts are being populated by those ads. And moreover, one thing I would like to say, AI is being used to create spams and to prevent spams, both. So that is a scary part, and yeah, AI is being popular and has a long way to go.
Ma'am, would you like to add something to this? Question number 3. Would you like to say something about question number 3?
Now I can talk a little bit about the health sector, because others have mentioned a lot about other sectors. And one of the areas in which I used AI in my previous job with the World Health Organization was to come up with cause of death data. So when verbal autopsies are done, it comes like a huge data, and that's where you run machine learning programs to get you to the real cause of death. But that's very specific. Well, as a layman, I think these days ChatGPT is everybody's favorite. So they would just put any language in, whatever. It can give you great Hindi translation also. It can give you great, well-written paragraphs. And at times, sometimes there is sense change, which one may have to. So oversight, of course, is required. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, I'm just continuing what ma'am was saying. Nowadays we are teachers, so nowadays we often see that students are submitting AI-generated assignments. Okay, and they do not not say that this is AI generated. They submit in their own name. Okay. So how can a teacher possibly detect such AI generated assignments? Is there any more positive way of using AI to improve the teaching learning process? So that brings us to my fourth question. Now this is, I would not bother you with this question. I would ask this question to our teachers, that is Dr. Yatindra Kumar, Dr. Dushyant, and after that I'll pass on this question to two young faculty members who are sitting right in front of me. One is Dr. Nancy Madam and another is Dr. Parveen sir. So first Yatindra sir.
Yeah, so in academia, I think you said like students are doing assignments using ChatGPT. So there are two things, bad AI, good AI. So we have the programs which can detect what students have done in the assignments. So there are certain programs which have been like, faculty has the access to those programs, and you can easily detect how much he has done from the ChatGPT or like other these softwares. So as I, like in my initial words also, I said like somewhere this AI has, you can degraded the originality and the creativity of the students. So I think it's more with respect to the motivation from the teacher, that he motivate them rather than to using these softwares. They should come with original assignments. Yeah.
Okay, Dushyant sir, but please.
Thank you. Okay, so it's like you have, so there are lots of worries about AIs also, but it's like you had viruses and then you also had antiviruses. The same company making viruses also making antiviruses and selling to you. So of course, AI also will go in the same path. The companies will make AI, also will make how to detect AI-generated text. So like Sir said, we also have the softwares. Turnitin is one of the example which we can detect whether the texts are generated by AI or not. And, but I will say another way. In fact, to my students, I will say, come up with anything. You use anything. What I will do is, in my classroom, I will ask everyone random questions. That's the best way I think, and I use in my classroom. The first 10, 20 minutes, I always do this practice. I ask randomly to anyone, what is the answer of this? Come to the board, solve it. Now, if they have generated the text with AI, I don't have any problem. Come here, if you understood or not, that is my worry. You take the answer from ChatGPT, I don't care. You understand it or not, that is my responsibility to make sure. And that I will make sure in my class by calling you on the board. My students are sitting there, they can tell. So I always use this practice. So that is one thing which is a very easy way to encourage and to remove the AI-generated text.
I'll
Okay.
not take another point from you. My next, will be Dr. Nancy ma'am. Ma'am, please answer question number 4.
Yeah, thank you for asking this question. As Yatindra sir and Dushyant sir also mentioned, we have tools to detect whether the text has been generated with the help of AI or not. So I myself have used ChatGPT and I find it very, very useful. So it will also work on the principle of garbage in, garbage out. If you ask right questions, it will give you right answers. So asking question is the very first important thing for a student also to learn what kind of question it has to ask, whether it is asking a teacher or whether it is asking a tool. AI is as a tool here. So if student is getting the correct answer, or probably he'll not get correct answer in first question, he will have to modify his question, he'll have to help the tool to understand the problem, and then tool will give the right answer. So if that approach is taken, then I don't think there is a problem in using a tool such as ChatGPT.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Parveen.
Thanks, sir. I think AI is really very helpful in academia because one main task we can use the AI in that is a course assessment. So AI is very useful in a course assessment. Otherwise, many universities have different softwares to assess the marks, to assessment of the students' grades, assignments, these type of things. And I think if we people are going to use AI, so it's much better than we putting the other manuals efforts. One more thing, even administrations in the academia can use this is a much better way to schedule the calendar, yearly calendar, because There is already leaves, there is each and everything. So there is no need to put extra effort. Even many things we can relate it to exams, course curriculum, COPO designing. So each and everywhere, this AI is very helpful. But of course, there are some drawbacks, just like as maybe it limited the knowledge of the personnel, because people are more and more rely on the AI, but everything is having a benefits, so having a drawbacks. But we should every time think about the positivity. Thanks, sir.
Okay, I'll be glad if Dr. Pragin gets some administrative position soon. That will be really good. Okay, okay. So, coming to my next question. Now, deepfakes are AI-generated media which are very difficult to detect. Now, can deepfakes be used for propaganda purpose and to swing elections, perhaps, or maybe to disturb peace in the society, or just to trouble and harass people, including celebrities, which have recently occurred in our country? So this brings us to the fifth question of this session. Can deepfakes create major problem in the society? Now, I would not bother you with this question. I would ask this question to the learned panelist on my right, and then I would ask the questions to only a few of my audience. So please answer question number 5.
Sure, definitely. I think there are 3 very key aspects on how deepfakes can really create problem in the society. First, I must share that when computers really came in India, one of the biggest impact it had was on the banking sector. A lot of things that used to happen manually at post office or in all the banks, they all moved digitally. Now we are talking of UPI and we have moved to a very different level. But I must share that the authentication and the KYC that you do for a particular person and to really enable what I would say a seamless banking experience, that can be massively disrupted with deepfakes. You can have the same person doing a liveliness check for the account, being able to debit and do all kind of scammy stuff from an account which is not belonging to the person. And we have seen there's a massive rise in financial scams and financial crimes as a result of deepfake technology. That's point number 1. Second, I must share, in reference to deepfakes, the biggest problem that I see is in the governance sector. Now, the problem, as you very correctly mentioned, is that in a democratic society, you listen to everyone. Now, when you're listening to everyone and you have deepfakes embedded in a very interesting manner, you will see very casual and very undesired outcomes. As we saw in the 2000 election in US, where Cambridge Analytica had a very interesting impact on the overall election results. And that disrupted the election considerably. The third I must share in reference to deepfake technology is that utilizing it for even marketing and promotional purpose needs to be done in a very thoughtful manner, in an aligned manner. It is leading to personalized marketing, but personalized marketing can itself be disruptive, which means if I don't need 20,000 SKUs, I should not be influenced to have that by a deepfake. So that is my particular perspective on how deepfake can really impact our society in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, so how do you define deepfake is also going to be changed, right? So AI is creating data which were not available, and then sooner you need to, who is going to differentiate what is AI generated data and what was the real data? Talking about celebrities, there were movies like Avatar where the actors were AI generated, right? And someday you start liking them, you might say that human actors are not good. You like 3D movies now, right? So, and that brings back to the human thing. So human is far more intelligent. It is you, your emotions who are going to differentiate, and you will definitely differentiate. Regarding data, there will be an age where this line will be totally blurred. What is fake, what is deep fake? It is about you, what you are going to propagate, what you are going to like, what do you want to grow, right? It is user, because of user wanting something, something is coming up. Industry is giving you what you need, right? So it is you. Someday you will be so bored about these AI generated and electronic music. Someday you will go to those opera houses and then you will say, I want to listen real music. So yeah, there is blessing in disguise.
Just an observation through the discussion, which I just want to take, just want to comment. like Manu Shir just said, that the harmful effects of AI on the quality of life. Now, what I got from all your discussions is that, like, when computers came, reading habits reduced, you know. So I think what disadvantage and the black spot of AI would be that we'll stop thinking, I think. So because this is very evident in society, we don't read much now. Newspapers have gone into oblivion. Book reading has almost stopped. We're all dependent on, hardly any one of us reading any good books or novels nowadays. We're just doing all digital entertainment ways. So with the more proliferation of AI in the society, I think human beings will stop, it will lead to thinking less. We'll be thinking less sometime in the future. So this is going to happen.
Ma'am, you are scaring all of us. Okay, so I do not want to listen more from you on this. So I am jumping. So I am jumping on to the sixth question of the session, and
but this is the reality. Pinaki.
This is reality, but this is a very scary reality.
See, we have stopped reading. You agree to that?
Yeah, I agree with that. So
I used to read novels when I was small. When I was kid, I was reading Nancy Drew. I was
now
reading
you are
Hardy
thinking
Boys.
with AI, you will not.
I have bought many novels, but hardly I get time to read them. Okay. So reading.
Dr. Pinaki, देखो मैं सिंपल एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि ठीक है हम लोग AI यूज करते जाएंगे आप इफ़ यू आर ड्राइविंग ए व्हीकल, ठीक है, एंड स्पीड इज़ गोइंग टू इंक्रीज अंटिल इट इज़ अंडर कंट्रोल, दैट इज़ ओके. और अगर कंट्रोल से बाहर हो गया तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं ब्रेक लगाना ही पड़ेगा, ठीक है. तो यू हैव टू मेंटेन ओवरऑल कंट्रोल ऑफ योर यूजिंग AI एज वेल एज योर मेंटल डेवलपमेंट, ठीक है. both things should be there, otherwise we are going to be heavily dependent on AI. अभी किसी बच्चे ने बोला कि अगर हम कोई डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन सॉल्व करते हैं, अगर आप उसको AI से लेने लग जाएं तो ठीक है वो आंसर तो दे देगा, लेकिन करेक्ट आंसर हो सकता है वो ना दे जब तक कि आपको डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन का सॉल्यूशन पता ना हो, ठीक है. ये हो सकता है. तो जो भी आप मॉडलिंग कर रहे हैं, जो सिमुलेशन कर रहे हैं, जितना भी आप कंट्रोलर डिजाइन कर रहे हैं, जितना भी आप डीप फेक टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आ रहे हैं, whatever you are doing in algorithm based, so you should dependent on real things also, so that you should know whether it is correct or wrong.
Just like sometimes we will like to go to the opera house to listen to music instead of computer generated music. So life is becoming more artificial, just like artificial intelligence. I miss reading books. I hardly get time,
Okay, ma'am, for that there may be other reasons. So for that you may not be able to blame, AI.
Earlier he was an assistant proliferation of computers.
Okay.
Reading has stopped because of that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for your insightful comments. So I am going to my sixth question, and for the lack of time, I will be asking this question to only my panelists only, and please answer in brief. Okay, so question number 6: will AI create or destroy or modify jobs? So that is the question.
Yeah, it is already, we are seeing massive replacement of jobs, specifically in content creation area, in the blogging area. I mean, we are now seeing that a lot of such, even in journalism, I must say. So a lot of these jobs have been replaced with AI tools. Similarly, in a lot of work which was around like core website development, app development, we are seeing Copilot, which is a very interesting tool for using open source in fascinating ways. So those kind of replacements have happened. But in reference to wherever there's innovation that is needed, wherever there's originality that is needed, so there definitely that replacement hasn't happened and it will not happen. As I think Vijendra sir and ma'am clearly mentioned, that there are certain areas like simulation, collaboration, also reflection on learning. So these are very, very optimal areas in any job specific profile also. And these specific areas will not be hampered. If you're talking of AI.
Yeah, so I'll say definitely AI is going to create more jobs. It is just, there was a time when Y2K was coming and people were worried that all the jobs will go, computers will come and banks will be empty. So similarly, AI is going to create abundance of jobs. The nature of job will be different. For example, again, I'll go back to Avatar. One person, one camera can do a movie. Thousands of people will be required to render those images. Thousands of computers, IT professionals, sound managers, And then only, even after that, it will be not so human. You can detect it is fake, right? So it is going to create jobs.
That's a very positive thing to say. It will create jobs. It will create high-paid jobs. Okay, so
Sure. So on that note, I'll just give a brief data from World Economic Forum. So this report is published in Forbes magazine and some other places also. So they did a survey on a huge number of population, and they came up with a number that the AI will kill around 85 millions of jobs, but on the other hand, they will generate 97 millions of jobs. So basically, it can generate more jobs. So that is the positive aspect. Now the problem is, the people who don't want to change, they will be gone first. That's the sad reality. So basically, the jobs or the people without AI will be replaced by people with AI. Because it's very simple. The task which a person can do, and a person with the help of AI, the same task, he can do much better, much faster, more efficiently. So all the repetitive work, I mean, I will say the human beings are made to work on innovative ideas, like sir was saying. We should get rid of all that mechanical, repetitive work. I will give you one example. I take always the example from my day-to-day life. Recently, we had to collect NPTEL certificates. I'm sorry to comment on that, but so this is the real example. Now, this work, a professor doing 15 years of research work, what he is doing, he's collecting a certificate, the number and everything. And I'm not saying he should not do this, but he should not be spending his most of the time on that. So those kind of works can easily be done by AI. Because NPTEL work is done by some of the IITs. They can send all the certificates to the institute. Institute can build his own AI who can scan all the certificates and can make a list. The people can focus more on innovations. We are made for that. And it is not the problem of survival, because we will always innovate. Machine cannot. Yeah, that's on that note. Okay, thank you.
that was a very nice idea.
I think Dr. Dushyant will be surprised to know that the marks of NPTEL are already there on our CUMS website. Still we are doing that. So that is the first scenario for us. But anyway, so since the question is like, obviously it will create jobs. Since like he has already done mentioned you regarding this Forbes report. So if you look overall, the unemployment rate, it has not increased actually. It has over the time decreased all across the globe. So that in itself says AI is not going to take jobs. It is basically going to add the jobs. As simple as that.
Thank you for saying such good things. People should not lose jobs due to a technology. I strongly believe that. So now coming to my seventh question. Now I'll ask this question only to two people. One is ma'am. Ma'am, you have to answer my seventh question, and another is Professor Ritu Sibal. Madam, I'll be asking this question number 7 to these two people only. Okay, so is AI environmentally sustainable? I mean that, will AI affect the real world in the environment in a positive way or in a negative way? So what will be the environmental impact of AI? Ma'am, please comment. Microphone.
I think it's one of the very difficult questions to answer. The reason being, at the end of the day, AI is still a tool. And if someone says, can a complete human being be replaced by AI? My answer to that is completely no. So, not the complete human being, certain parts of can be replaced, yes. So I believe that yes, it is environmentally sustainable, provided it's been judiciously utilized. So everything, it's the balancing act which one needs to undergo.
No, ma'am, this question is for you.
And I need to think about it. Again, the question is the balance, how we maintain it. environmentally sustainable. You know, the actions or the views to which we put AI, that is going to determine how it is going to affect the environment. Am I right? Sort of.
See, this is an open-ended question, and as Madam pointed out, AI is still, at a very...
Yes, you want to say something?
I think the real meaning is that is it help to sustainable the environment?
No. Okay, please continue.
I think that is it help to
Yeah,
the real question is that.
yeah.
To harm the planet or the environment in the long run.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it is meant, the question. So again, the use to which we are going to put AI into, that is going to determine. Same as, you have computers, you have software, you have viruses also, you have antiviruses also. So how judiciously you're going to use AI?
So I can give one
yes,
example.
how judiciously you will use AI?
I'll definitely.
Yes. You want to comment something on that?
Yeah, ma'am. I'll just like to give a quick example. For example, if you're solving integrated water management, now the point is all the data centers we know, they are all running on AI chips, and that's a heavy utilization of water. But at the same point, you could utilize AI for solving integrated water management issues, right? It's like both sides of the coin. So on one side, you can solve a problem using AI to make things more environmentally sustainable, and on the other side, you are requiring a lot of water to run these AI chips. So it's a very, I would say it really depends on how you're directionalizing the use of it, where you're keeping that balance. So I think what ma'am suggested is the complete answer to that question, that, how do you really balance this whole effort or journey of utilizing AI in a specific enterprise or for a governance aspect or even for citizen development aspect? Yeah.
On the funny side, definitely it is not going to be urban friendly, because who is polluting in the first place, right? And if you are so smart and you don't want to pollute, why AI is required to solve? So definitely you will design something to pollute it more. AI doesn't have a kind of sanity in it. It is going to harm. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a diverse opinion on this question. So now we have only 5 minutes left in this session, so I would come to the last question of the session, which I think is pretty interesting and perhaps a bit controversial. So many people, see, this question may look funny, but it isn't, because there are many people who are known to be clinically addicted to smartphones, WhatsApp, and social media. Okay, so a person can a person get addicted to AI also? And if someone develops a feeling towards AI, then what will you call that? Will you call it love, or will you call it a clinical case of obsessive compulsive disorder, that is OCD? So is it addiction or is it love? So this is a very open-ended question, and I would request all my panelists and all my audience members to say their frank comments on that. So the question is that, can a person fall in love with AI? Sir, you can start, please.
Definitely. I'd like to take a quote of one of my advisors, Nicholas Negroponte. Interestingly, his advisor at MIT was Marvin Minsky, who's a very well-known AI, I would say, theorist, pioneers. So what I think he's told me, and I think this was one of my first meetings with him when he shared that with me. He shared that if you're talking of AI, it has impact with search engines. So he said that, do you love search engines? I said, yes, I love search engines. So he said, then definitely you love AI. There's no way that you don't love that. Now then he moved on to robotics. And robotics is like probably a second area where you see massive impact of AI. Now he said, do you love robotics? I said, surely, but for a specific task. It's not like I love robots to that extent. So he said that that's a case of what I would say love plus utilization of that love. So what I must share with you is, it is really that understanding of how much you have to utilize a technology, how much you have to be a contributor to that technology, versus how much you have to be addicted to it. Now, if you're talking of smartphone addiction and OCDC, the issues that we are facing over there, surely that's a case of disruption and addiction, which is really harmful. So it's an interesting balancing act that someone has to define. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say, it is very much personal. So it is up to the person what he is wanting from AI and what AI is providing, and none other in his circle or her or her circle is providing. Definitely there is a point where AI, people can fall in love with AI. AI, as he was saying, it is like a dog right now. So if dog becomes human, we don't know what it will be. So yeah, there are chances.
So AI is like a dog, and if it becomes human, then we do not know what is going to happen. That is a very nice way to say, sir. Now, Yatinder, sir, please.
Yeah, so I think love happens when it's two-sided. It doesn't happen one-sided. So that is not called as love. So I think it's more of an addiction. So it's so I think if you consider today's world, like IQ is going down, and it is the emotional quotient which is basically a leading cause of trouble to, you can say, people, because people who are having low EQ, or I would say like weak at emotional quotient, they are at huge risk actually, because they get addicted very, very fast. And that is where I think we need to have, like nowadays, previously we need not have psychologists in the schools or even in colleges or universities. But the kind of scenario which is going on with the technology, the kind of upgradation which has happened at a like mega pace. So you need to have those caretakers also to make sure that the students, the staff, the faculty members also, they are in good mental space. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so actually the aspect regarding AI, the panelists have already discussed. I will, so of course I agree with all the problems associated with AI. In fact, I will give you just one example, very short example. When I was in NUS, so there was one guy, my colleague, whenever he used to press the button of a lift, automatically his one hand here, or the other hand will go in the pocket and the phone will come out. He, in fact, did not realize this. I just asked him once, what you are watching? There was Facebook. Because here there is no signal of internet. No, the feed is already there, so it's my habit. And to surprise, after 1 year, I realized that I started having the same problem because of that environment and those colleagues. So I will touch upon one another aspect is that with this much of advancement in the technology, you should also learn how to control your mind. So I will touch upon spirituality a little bit. I'm not talking about religious or those activities, but spirituality. Spirituality means to learn about your mind. So like I got aware that I have this addiction. I started working on that, and now I don't have that addiction. So you should know what habits you are developing, and you should also know the tools and practices to avoid those habits and so basically I would say a little bit about your spiritual, the controlling about your mind, and to learn about your mind. Definitely. So that's another point that, okay, this will take time, but just briefly. So if you have access to very small things, of course, the disadvantage is also very less. Yeah, exactly.
Distractions were less.
Very less.
So people were more happy.
More happy.
Now distractions are more mental. People are more difficult to
yes,
manage.
that's why even in today's world, even there's a much more need of spirituality, I will say.
Spirituality, psychologists,
exactly,
counselors.
so that you know your mind, you know your habits, your addictions, and you work on those.
AI will play mind games with people.
Okay, so Dr. Dushyant sir was talking about philosophy. Now with us we have one faculty member who is pretty knowledgeable about philosophy, and he has been, he's equally knowledgeable about engineering and philosophy, and he has been listening to the session very carefully. So I would request Professor S.K. Jha sir to tell something upon if a person can develop love or crush or some feeling on AI.
In fact, those who is knowing me, I have written on my Facebook wall that science plus spirituality equal to construction, and science minus spirituality equal to destruction. ये मेरे फेस वॉल पर ऊपर में लिखा हुआ है ना? विज्ञान प्लस आध्यात्म सृजन को जन्म देता है, और विज्ञान माइनस आध्यात्म विनाश को जन्म देता है. मैं जहाँ भी लेक्चर देता हूँ तो एक मैं कोट करता हूँ हमेशा कि साइंस और स्पिरिचुअलिटी, तो स्पिरिचुअलिटी, जैसा हमारे प्रोफेसर विजेंद्र सिंह ने कहा और हमारे दुष्यंत जी ने बड़ा बढ़िया चीज़ कहा है ना. और एक्चुअली क्या है ना, मैनी टाइम्स पीपल आर मिस्टेकिंग religion with the spirituality. That is very dangerous thing. I must say you that, first of all, I would say that artificial intelligence, that is science, and spirituality, as he has told, that if our mind is perfect, if we are able to control our mind, many people say that no, it is very difficult to control the mind. Same question was asked by Arjun to Krishna in Mahabharata War, that you are asking me to control the mind, but to control this mind is as difficult to control the flow of air. So Krishna was great teacher, he says, yes, Arjun, you are right. This mind is as difficult to control as to control the flow of air, but eventually it can be controlled. So he devised, or he disseminated that philosophy to Arjun, that preaching to Arjun, he said, असंग शेंग महाबाहो मनोर दुर्निग्रहं चलम अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेयो वैराग्येन च गृह्यते. Yes, this mind could be controlled by constant practice and abstinence. Constant practice and abstinence. अभ्यास और वैराग्य से ये mind control में हो सकता है. And whatever or whoever great person you know, they have always followed these two formulas. Suppose I want to have sweet. है ना, मिठाई खाना चाहते हैं. I won't go nearby मिठाई. How can मिठाई will reach to us? So that is, abstinence from something. है ना? So constant practice and abstinence. So as far as environmentally sustainable is concerned, that is also very important thing. Artificial intelligence is used, for prediction of many things. Like solar, if you want to establish solar-based system, renewable energy system, then perfect, prediction is required. And that is very fantastically done by artificial intelligence. So, artificial intelligence, accompanied with sense of empathy and spirituality will always be beneficial for the societies. Just like initially with the emergence of computer science, a lot of fear were lurking in the mind of human being, but later on all those fears, got removed automatically. In the same way, artificial intelligence, if it is used with pure conscience and mind, I think it will be used for humanity. Thank you very much.
Sir, very nicely said. Now, we have some young students also, so they have, these kids were saying something, but they have not said something. So first, these are design students, I believe. You are from design department? नहीं, पीछे तो सारे कुछ तो design students भी हैं. सारे reporting हैं. Okay, ma'am, you want to say something? Okay, so I take answer from ma'am and then from two students. But please tell in brief.
I want to put a question on this question, that's
Okay.
all. Just because you should never leave a panel without a take home to think more about it. And that question is, when you say, just use the word love, what are you talking about? Love is a feeling, love is an emotion, or love as your inner fabric. So once we are clear about that, it'll be easier to answer. And that's part of, if I get chance to do my presentation, that's part of that presentation also.
Okay, some young kids, please answer this question.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर. सर, एक एआई है, स्नैपचैट एआई करके नाम है. उससे हम जो भी क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं वो हमारा आंसर करती है. लाइक वो आपको सजेशन भी करती है, ऐसा है. तो लाइक अगर आप एक पर्सन हो, आपके कोई फ्रेंड्स नहीं है, आप थोड़ा मेंटली प्रेशर हो, लाइक अगर मतलब इंट्रोवर्ट हो आप, तो आप उससे बात कर सकते हो और वो आपको कंफर्ट फील करवाती है. लाइक एंड शी विल लाइक सजेस्ट यू सम थिंग्स. लाइक अगर एक कोई पर्सन मेंटली अनस्टेबल है, लाइक वो ह्यूमंस लाइक उसको नहीं पसंद, क्या वो लोगों से बात नहीं कर सकता, तो वो एआई से बात करेगा. लाइक और वो अच्छे से आंसर करती है, लाइक जैसा वो चाहता है, जैसा वो चाहता है. सर, नेगेटिव इफेक्ट है. वो उससे एडिक्ट हो जाएगा, उसको लगेगा कि दिस इज़ द ओनली थिंग आई वांट इन माय लाइफ. तो सर वो उससे लाइक फीलिंग्स, वो उसके ऐसी फीलिंग्स जनरेट होगी सर उसके लिए. दिस इज़ व्हाट आई थिंक.
Actually, sir, I have I will want to like share one of my experience from like the days of lockdown. Back there wasn't ChatGPT or any like Snapchat AI and all. There was an app called Replica. It was a test app there. And when I was in lockdown, there were no people around me and I had like no friends there. So what happened? No, for the first month, I really enjoyed talking to that app because it was very considerate. It used to like remember all the important things I tell it. It was very creative and used to make me involved in like text games and all. But the thing is that the experience it is providing you, it is very limited. And this is because the amount of data that we can process right now, that from a human's perspective, you can see that you're feeling air on every square millimeter of your skin. It is being processed through your brain. Computers can't do that right now. But the day the processing is going to be that much, it is going to like blow your minds, and we won't be able to distinguish between what is real scenario and what is fake. So what I'm saying that at time I realized it, and most of the guys don't, because mental health is a very big problem here. So as I'm saying right now that the question that can a person fall in love with AI, I am telling you that it won't be the thing, because AI will be something that you desire, and love is not that you find there. Love is something that you accept something for what it is, and AI will be just like fulfilling your own like desires and all. It can't be love.
Or need, maybe
I think it's
need.
a very tough question, man. that
Yeah,
you
it is a
asked.
tough question. Okay, so to end the session, I would ask this question number 8 to my learned friend, Dr. Kumar Singh, sir. Please answer question number 8. Okay, sir, Bijendra, sir, you want to answer question number 8? You have said, yeah. First Bijendra, sir, then Kumar, sir.
Only 2 minutes, not more than 2 minutes. Okay. Basically, in case of AI, if you are feeling very good and you want to chat, no problem. But once if your thinking is to negative side, okay? And whenever you will put only one word of this negative, this will take you negative side, and the mind, when it works continuously, it goes exponentially extreme to that side. That is the main hazardous thing of this, okay? And whenever you will go to positive side, you think positive, it may go positive, but it is not exponential. It will take linearly to you, to that positive side, okay? So positive things takes time, and negative things takes very, very less time to go to the extreme state. That is the main thing.
Am I audible? Yes. So I agree with sir. Personally, I am in love with AI. Not only software side, I am in love with AI chips as well. And yes, you can fall in love with AI. There is no harm as soon as you are, your intent is to spread love. So I think.
No,
We
I
are
think
talking.
Mam's
We are
question
not
was-
talking. Yeah, we
it's
are
a
not
feeling-
talking. Yeah, we are not talking AI as a subject.
Right.
Okay, or a technology.
So I came late. I didn't
okay,
understand
So
the
Mam's
context.
question, I'll just repeat Mam's question. Mam's question was, when you're talking of love with AI, whether it's an emotion, it's a feeling, or it's your inner fabric. Correct, ma'am? These were the 3 things. As far as I feel, it's a combination of all 3, but yeah, definitely.
So
We'd love to hear
I think
your
I
thoughts.
agree with you. It's a combination of all 3 only. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a very difficult question that ma'am has
okay.
put in.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, we have a person, Vicky Suri, sir. Yeah, he is both a faculty member and an alumni. So please tell your views on the 8th question. Can a person fall in love with AI?
Actually, what is there that when we talk about artificial intelligence, there are various other areas which we don't consider. And they are, let's say, we can say, AI can have intelligence, but can it have wisdom? And what we say that humans are not humans because of intelligence, they are humans because of wisdom. So the thing is, AI can never replace the wisdom. Until we have our own wisdom and the collective wisdom, AI is not a threat according to me. So that is the thing.
Okay, very well said, sir. And we completely, all of us agree with you, sir. Okay, so, we have already overshot the time limitation, so I have to close this session here. So before I do so, I thank my panelists. Now, I had a very diverse panelist here. Today, I had a physicist, a biotechnologist, a computer scientist, and an electronics scientist with me. And in between them was a very, a talkative person. And, and we had a very young, no, we do not have much alumni. We had mostly young teachers and students. So all of us said their views on different aspects, different social aspects of AI. So, in summary, I can say that AI should be responsible, it should be inclusive, and it should, AI cannot, AI is intelligence, but it is not wisdom. That is one thing. And there is one thing which I would remember for a long time, which Mr. Tiwari said that, AI is like a dog. Now the dog wants to become a man, and we do not know what it will do. Okay, so we have to take care of this thing. So no, I'll remember this statement for a long time. Okay, so here I conclude this session. Thank you everybody for attending the session. Thank you.
Sure.
Time after this session. Yeah, you can start.
Okay,
Please sit down. Please
can you
sit
all
down.
come little in front?
Please.
So that I can see you clearly. It's something very, very interesting for you, okay? I don't think so very much electricity is left, but it's okay. That side, we look, don't go, just sit down. इधर आ जाओ. ये पकड़ना पड़ेगा. सीमो का है? Just come in front, please.
Stretch, na? Next time, but we.
How will this switch on? Can you switch that on for me, please?
Please settle down.
I need this on.
Please settle down. Yeah.
Can you sit? It's something interesting. It's few of the arrows which came out of this panel get answered. So come on. Just don't hide at the back. You love it. Come on. Don't hide at the back. How do I get this on? Yeah, but who knows how to operate this?
नहीं. बेटा कनेक्ट देखना. लगा दिया.
हाँ यही तो चल रहा था. तो इसको इस पे चाहिए.
नहीं आ गया वो. वहाँ से नहीं है बेटा. यहीं से है. देखना ये लग गया. वायर तो लग गया. ये वायर यही है ना?
हाँ लगा हुआ है.
हाँ. आ गया. Now it's okay.
Okay, I think I'll introduce myself. Okay, I am the first batch of computer engineering from NSUT, or it was called DIT at that time. 1988 passed out. So my journey has been, at the moment, I'm doing something very different from where I started my career. At the moment, I'm a happiness coach, and I do behavioral change trainings. I mean, some of the things which people were saying here, that's needed, mind control, and perhaps a spirituality flavor. We do that, but we actually don't call it spirituality in order for that not to have a religious conflict when we are into organizational setups, because that can raise questions. So For nearly 20 years, I worked as an advisor with the World Health Organization. It was an international civil service, fairly high-ranked positions. And my last 2 jobs, I started as a CIO there. My last 2 jobs were to do with the training I am now imparting. It came out of change management and then health situation and trend assessment of this country and 11 countries I worked with. So I have traveled to 100+ countries and worked with 1/4 of the world's population. And rest, of course, I've done my MBA, I've done my coaching and all of that stuff. Now, what do you understand by happiness coaching? I would love to have your attention. Girls, hello? You're not going. I'm not letting you go. Because when I'm on the stage, I don't let anybody go. It's not allowed. Got it? So, you have only one choice, to listen to me. Perfect? So, what do you understand by happiness coaching? Kya samajh aata hai? What is happiness coaching? Okay, this is what it is. सीमा पास से लेना, इतनी दूर से आएगा नहीं. So, there is no failure. You either win or you learn. Once you have that mindset, can you be ever unhappy? Can you be ever unhappy? Yes or no? There is no failure. You either win or you learn. If you have that mindset, can you be ever unhappy? No. So that's how you become the director, the scriptwriter, and the star of your life's drama. It's not that you're not a puppet in the hands of others. They are not controlling your mind. You are controlling your mind. So those are the skills which we impart. I don't do any motivational talking. I'm not a motivational. I get invites, very highly paid for that. I don't go. Why? Because that has an impact less than 78 hours. After that, motivational talks have no impact. So I do skill imparting, which will make you a king of your life. That's what I do. Now here's all my qualifications. I'm just skipping on that. Now, here is the bottom of the concept which I have. You know what? This is called happiness and success matrix. And that is 4 zones. Okay? आज तक आपने जो देखा होगा ना ज़्यादातर, people are just talking about be successful, as if you will reach the moon and you will plug the stars once you are successful. But guys, it makes more sense if you are happily successful. Because I had a friend, he was the CEO of SAP, Ranjan Das, who passed away in 2009 at the age of 42, heart attack. He was very successful. CEO of SAP is successful, but somewhere or the other, there was something which was not making him happy. And that's the reason that happened. What's the point of being successful if you can't live a happy life? So what you see here is your future vision. ये पढ़ना आता है किसी को matrix? Who will read it for me? Who will explain me? Young guys or girls, what would this mean? Simple. You do it every day in your lives, don't you? Who will explain this to me? No, not you. I want to make sure they all attend. That's the reason I'm asking them. Tell me. ये समझाओ मुझे आता नहीं है, ये बताओ क्या है? Every answer is a right answer. Come on. Great. Yes. Okay. So you didn't see these axes here. You're right. This is future vision. And this axis is positive emotions. So when you are none of those, you are in a survival zone. So time pass कर रहे हो अपनी life का. ठीक है? कितनी देर कर लोगे? एक दिन numb हो जाओगे. And ज़्यादातर लोग उस numbness को खुशी मानना शुरू कर देते हैं. but you are actually numb at that time. Now, you move up there. There is no future vision. Goal ही नहीं है, कुछ vision ही नहीं है, ज़िंदगी में करना क्या है भाई? But there is positivity. You're then in avoidance zone. That's avoidance zone. You're looking for instant gratification because you have not seen a long-term vision of your life. You get it? And here is when you have a vision, but you are not in positive emotions, then you're in anxiety zone. So most top management actually fluctuate between, sorry to say though, avoidance zone and anxiety zone. That's where most top managements are fluctuating. And the finest one, where we all want to be, is the growth zone. That's where creativity comes. AI can replace everything but creativity. Your originality, your innovation, AI cannot replace. So if you want to be irreplaceable, make sure you're high on creativity. If you ain't, possibly you could be replaceable. I'm not threatening, but it's just a point to ponder upon. Now, the interesting part here is, or the shocking news here is, what percentage of people would be there in that zone, growth zone? Guesses chahiye mujhe. What percentage of people are in growth zone? Okay, you're more pessimistic than the truth. But here we go. 97 are not in the growth zone. So we have then that way we have a good news here. We have 3% people who are in the growth zone. Rest are in the remaining zone. But for me, that's a sad news. It's just 3% who are doing what one should be doing. What about the 97%? Where are they leading to? And who is worrying about it? They don't know themselves, and nor the organizations are worrying about it. And this is all research. I've got full data behind all this research. So, now the question to you is, what do you believe is happiness? Happiness kya hota hai? According to you, what is happiness? Satisfaction, yeah? Lifelong learning is, yeah, one thing which can take us towards happiness. Okay, let me say this. Happiness has 3 pillars. There are 3 P's. What are those 3 P's? Yes, sir.